Yo, back with another list. We have Shoutmon, this disgusting, piercing deck list. Let's head into it. We running the 5 Digitamas that we're running that has piercing. Of course, we already see the thumbnail has piercing in it. Of course, we're gonna run the Beha Domon piercing guy that this Digimon has piercing. It gets 2000 KDP. I'm trying to get away from the BT8, but since we on the month of coming up BT8, why don't I add a few cards? Man, just one. I'm trying to stick to BT7, but we're gonna add this guy in. If this Digimon has 6000 DP or more, trigger to draw one card. Technically, you can add in more of these guys in to actually draw more cards if you need be, but technically you don't really need this guy that much right now, but he does come in at gaining more draw power in your engine. So technically we're only running about 10 level 3s in this deck list. Gasomon actually is the guy that stops from your opponent reducing his cost for Digi Evolution. We're running 3 of these guys, but the real MVP of this show is this Shoutmon here that can reveal the top 5 and add a Digimon with Shoutmon and Blitz within the card's text. So you get to grab 2 Digimon, which is really strong. That's why we're running so low of the level 3s. It should be like 13, but we're running like 10 of these guys, and this dude is just MVP at just drawing your cards and drawing your pieces. Is really strong. And the last but not least, level 3 Shoutmon we're running is the one that Blitz. If their Digimon has Blitz, you get to draw one card. So this one is from BT6. This is very old school style deck list. It's not going to be all super fancy. It's just straight shotgun and down your opponent. So, and going on to the level 4s we're running is the 2 Agumons, which is a hybrid from your tamer. You can digivolve it and just kind of close out that game if you need be. So that's we running at 2 of. Only reason we're running this blocker here is just because it's a cheap way to get up to your chain really quickly, and that's what you really want to do. Low level cost to get you there quicker, but he is a blocker still, nevertheless. But you know, now we got so much blocker hate, it's just ridiculous to even be running these guys. But this is only for that fast get into the grind and get into the game a lot quicker and to get into your levels. And we're running 4 of these guys. Now Growlmon, this is really good because if you're going into Blitz, and then when you delete a Digimon, you get to gain that memory. This is really cool. I know you guys are kind of like wondering, you know how are you gonna delete a Digimon, but this is really cool because in showing the other part of this deck is the fact that you can delete Digimon that are unsuspended and swing into those guys and gain that memory back and still keep going up the chain. Is really good. So we running about 4 of these guys. Now the next card we're running is another great card that you can run in this list is this Omni Shoutmon, and what he does is you can play this guy over one of your Shoutmons as a level 3 and just jump straight into a level 5 from a level 3. That's fair. I don't and you can jump right into it. So from a 4, you pay 4 to jump right into from one of your Shoutmons and then go into this level 5 here. And on top of that, when you evolve over its inherited effect, you have Blitz. You get to gain a security +1. So this guy is really good, especially if you want to skip over your pieces, over your 4s. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. You can just jump straight into it and go to your 4s. What's really cool about going to 4 memory is that the fact that if you go from level 3 and then you go to a level 1 and then you go into a level you go into a 3, you go into a level 4 that costs you 1, and then you go into a level 5 which will cost you 4 essentially. So it's the exact same thing, but you just skip over that level. And that's one of the reasons why I was saying, running a cheap cost level 1, because you get that value of it. You know what I mean? It's just more quicker to just go from Omnimon Shout straight into the level, the level 3, and then chill, and then next turn you going into your level 6. That's if you don't even have 4s in your hand. So I mean, this deck is really consistent at doing that, so I thought that was really cool. The next card we're running is this Shoutmon. He has Blitz, which is cool too, that you can use if you want to. He can be safe because he's 8 KBP. He's very tough to deal with. He's very tough, and he can definitely still survive on that turn, and still be able to go over him again, and then blitz again with a Shoutmon, so over him. So, and he kind of completes some of the ratios of what I would want as into having blitz cards. So if you're like going to the level 3 that I was talking about, to actually be able to grab the top 5, look at the top 5 and then grab a Digimon that has Blitz or Shoutmon in his name, this is just the guy that just has the Blitz, and you can actually grab him, and he just helped me out with that ratios. And that's really, I'm not a fan of one-ofs, but that's what he's there for. So that's all I can say. If not, if you feel like you want to change it up, then by all means change it up. I mean, but I feel like just to have that extra draw every time I play the level 3 down, I definitely want to be consistent. So that's why I added him in. And now we're moving on to our other level 5s and our level 6s. I know this seems kind of crazy when you see the level 6s right now, but before we get to that, we're talking about the Metal Greymon right here. If you have a tamer in play, you get to gain 2 memory, and if you don't have a tamer in play, you get to play 1 red card from your red tamer from your hand without paying his memory cost. So I thought that was pretty interesting too, but we're not really technically using it for that play. I mean, if you want to, you can. I don't see not if they give you a ton of memory, then you want to play this out like that, but I don't think that's a great idea to give your opponent 7 memory on the play. But if you feel like you can handle that, especially on turn 1, you can just slap this boy down. If he's not prepared, he has nothing up, you can just slap this down and just put your tamer down at the same time, which is really cool. But the real reason why I want this guy, he's another guy that actually like Growlmon, what we were using was to delete a Digimon and gain that memory. But this guy, he does the exact same thing. When your opponent Digimon is deleted, you get to gain a memory. The thing different is it, let me see, am I missing something here? When one of your opponent Digimon is deleted, you gain 1 memory. When opponent Digimon is deleted, no, they both are the same. I guess I definitely wanted to get more of those effects off. That way, if you go into Metal Greymon, you can definitely you can have Growlmon over Metal Greymon and still get like 2 memory, because you definitely want to essentially use the blitz on your opponent's turn. What I mean is, if you blitz, you skip the turn, you definitely want to gain that memory on your opponent's turn and get those blitz effects. It's really, the ruling is really weird on using the blitz, so just definitely be mindful of that. So that is one of the reasons why I'm saying that now, because sometimes you can try to blitz, and with the Shoutmon, how his effects work is basically it has to be your opponent's turn in order for you to gain that memory check or whatever you want to say, right? So now on to the other one. The reason you seen the thumbnail is the disgusting piercing deck is because of this Durantdamon. This guy, he gives your Digimon piercing, and he's a level 6, and that's actually really strong. This is actually really important to have this into your list, and that's what I want to do into that. So what you're trying to do here is you want to actually go into this over a level 6 when you go into your Shoutmon DX. And I'm speaking a little ahead right now in advance, but let's go over Z Greymon before I get into that piercing. But remind you guys, this piercing is just brutal. So what you can do is, this guy here is when the Digimon attacks with Blitz, it also can attack your opponent unsuspended Digimon. So this is really, really strong. So technically what you want to do is go up your chain in the breeding area and then go with this guy, the Z-Greymon, and you wait in the background, right? And then once you do that, you have your Shoutmon, which I'm going over right now, is the fact that when this card digivolves, you get to gain the Blitz. And then what it does is, you may place one red Digimon card from your hand at the top of this Digimon Evolution Sources cards. Then for each Omnimon, Shout, or Z-Greymon in this Digimon Evolution, you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon at 5k DP. But, I mean, the 5k DP does come up quite a bit, you know, blowing up some like cheap level cards. But even if they're not there, you can still, you know, sweep the board, and then you can still attack into something heavy on their side of the board, which is really, really good. And then, you know, the main part about this card is the fact that you get to place one red Digimon from your hand at the top of this. Doesn't have to be any Omnimon or Shoutmon or whatever Omni Shout that you have. You can just place the oh my god, I'm messing up my words, but the Durandamon and it gains the piercing, and you still get to blow up something and still check that life. So I feel like this is a bootleg Justmon, but you know, nevertheless, it's still Shoutmon. But I am running about this is about 12 level 6s in the deck. So now moving on from the Shoutmon DX, we're actually going into the level 7 Omnimon, right? So while I was saying about the Metal Greymon and the Growlmon, where I was going through, what I was trying to do was to gain that memory. So what you want to do is you definitely don't want to end your turn on that turn when you blitz. You definitely want to like swing, blow something up, and then gain that memory, and then it becomes your turn again. And then that's when you want to use Omnimon. And then once you go over the Omnimon, you still get to gain those extra security checks that you had before on the previous Digimon and actually close out that game. And another thing is, you can actually still check another Digimon, because this will actually be able to pierce and actually blitz again and use those effects all over again. So I think that is like extremely strong. People are unaware of some of these plays and just totally forget about Shoutmon that comes up. So a lot of the meta stuff right now, I have checked so many lives and they was just so unprepared to like deal with all of this. So essentially you have three Digimon that's level 6, and that's why I said this was so important, because you have Durandamon, right? And you have Z-Greymon, right? And then you have the Shoutmon DX, right? And then you go straight into the Omnimon and you have 3 level 6s. Omnimon is not leaving the board, man. Like literally, they can blow it up as much as they want. They can try to do any effects that they want and it doesn't die. You just remove a level 6 and then it stays on board. This is like, I don't know if this deck was built for just Shoutmon, but dude, like this is crazy. So I thought this was really, really cool. It's an old school deck that I built before, and I just decided to like, you know, I think I want to share this and put this out there. And the last but not least few cards we have, our options and our tamers that we're going over with, is the red memory boost, just in case you need to get that extra memory to like not lose your turn and then gain it back. This is what that's there for. And of course, we know the tie gives you the set memory, and the extra check, yeah, is just deadly. It is disgusting. Yes, it is. And then of course, if you go into your Omnimon, you still get to get those checks and +2 memory if they have a level 6. So this is the deck list, guys. I thought this was really, really cool to take a look at, take a gander at. Like I said before, closed casket toe tags, net deck for the win. And check this deck out, man. I think it's really, really cool to to take a look at and take a few games home, man. I mean, of course it's red. You sit in the back and you wait and you just check. They can't really do too much to it. There's not a lot of things that can stop it, but this is really cool list. Check it out. I hope you guys like it, and please subscribe. Well, before you subscribe, make sure you comment, then subscribe, then give me a holler. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the deck list. All right, peace.